It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. It's time to get into Around the NFL and go through some of these games this weekend and kind of pick our winners and losers. We'll start with the Dallas Cowboys at home.
Who do they play? I'll put a poll
The
up.
Los Angeles Rams. Speaking of Matthew Stafford, Dallas Cowboys need this win, especially for NFC East purposes, but just in general for NFC purposes as well. And just for, the public opinion, I think they need this win. I think the Rams, I know the Cowboys right now are -6. I think the Rams could keep this one close just because of what we've seen. And we got Sean McVay, just had a child, so shout out to him. I like the Rams to keep this close, Sam, but I can't believe I'm doing it, but I'll pick the Cowboys I'll pick them by 3.
You can't believe you're picking the Cowboys, a playoff team in a regular season game?
No, can't trust them.
Wow, okay. All right, so fine. I am picking the Cowboys because the Cowboys need this one. They need to keep pace with the Eagles, and this is just, it's home, it's against the Rams. The Rams are an okay team, but I ultimately think the Rams will bottom out to a 6 or 7 win. And I think this is a game where Micah Parsons has a tremendous impact, and I could also see CeeDee Lamb going off. So give me the Cowboys.
All right, I'll go Cowboys by 3. You got Cowboys, they're -6. You think they cover?
They cover. Okay. I got Cowboys by double digits.
All right, what do you think, Lucas?
Oh.
That's a statement.
Cowboys by double digits. I don't.
It could be 10.
I know you instantly want to go Cowboys here, and it's very leaning so the fact that they're at home. But you look at the Rams and what they got going for them, Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. I don't know who in the Cowboys secondary is stopping that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just, if Dak has a slight, Aaron Donald's going to be putting pressure on it. Does not matter. That's still Aaron Donald. The Rams secondary right now is sneaky underrated. I'm going Rams in an upset, and this doesn't even have to do with my hate for the Cowboys. I just think it's a bad matchup for the Cowboys.
I think the Rams keep this thing
Sean
close.
McVay versus Mike McCarthy.
That's also true.
Both one-time Super Bowl winners.
There's levels to that.
I understand.
There's levels.
I understand.
To that.
I think
I
McCarthy
understand.
won before there was Twitter. So I'm just kidding. But regardless, I'm with you. I think it's a bad matchup for the Rams. What about you, JB? What do you got?
I think it's easy to sit here and pick the Cowboys, but I'm actually going against the Cowboys.
Now you guys got me!
Give me the Rams in this one, and I'll take the points. Hell, but I think, as Lucas said, with Puka and Cooper out there, how is Dallas stopping both of these guys?
And Cooper was quiet last week, so he's due for a big game.
Yeah, you know what?
100 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I'm going to still stick with the Cowboys, but I think the Rams, I'll take them on the points.
Just remember, guys, that
gosh.
pretty much everybody is out here picking the Rams. And if the Cowboys were to actually lose, you know what you guys would all say? Ha ha, the Cowboys losing to those bum Rams after you picked them to lose already.
Well, they shouldn't. I had the Jets beating the Eagles. I was still laughing at the Eagles. That's not a game you should lose.
All right, the Cowboys are winning this game.
Okay. All right, moving on. We got an NFC North face-off, Vikings and Packers. Ooh. Wow, the fall of Jordan Love has been interesting, right? The 7 TDs to 1 pick start.
The future incoming Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre and even Bart Starr.
I can't believe, I am ashamed of myself that I even sat there and we had the conversation, should we be a little nervous? That we don't know what Jordan Love is? Not nervous of Jordan Love, but I'm the unknown. No, we know he stinks. I found that out. We're good. I think the Vikings, they beat the Packers here, and they but they rise to 500, which, makes things interesting. I think it does.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, they're 3-4 right now. They go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Give me the Vikings here. Right now, Minnesota's favorited on the road by 1.5. I think the Vikings cover.
I got the Packers in this one.
Ooh.
I know this is going to sound a little bit maybe lazy, but I just don't know if I trust Kirk Cousins on the road in Green Bay. And the Packers, say what you want about them, they do have a lot of talented defensive pieces. They just do. They've got, and especially with Justin Jefferson out, I think this is one where the Packers grind one out. Maybe something like 21-17 and maybe pick off Kirk Cousins a time or two to set up at least one short field touchdown or a pick 6. Give me the Packers, and that would officially bury the Vikings in the division. You guys should root for the Packers, by the way.
Yeah, because it helps. It definitely helps you. And it's weird, Lucas. If you're a home team and you're the underdog, typically I like to, I'll take that.
That's exactly.
But Jordan Love makes it hard, dude.
I think the Vikings are at an extreme high. They just had the peak of their season. Last week was their Super Bowl. And they're going to have to come down to earth reality eventually. And the Packers are coming off a rough streak at home. I think they need a win badly. I don't think that's a team that's going to try. I think that's a team that's going to try to compete the whole season regardless of it, just for Jordan Love's sake. So I think the Packers come out there and compete at home. I'm going to give it the Packers, but it's going to be close. And it's not a pick that I'm very confident in, but close Packers win.
What about you, JB? What do you think?
This game is gross either way, if I'm being honest. But give me the Vikings on this one. I just don't trust Jordan Love. I really don't.
All right, one more game before we go to break here. Falcons-Titans.
Oh, God.
Yeah, at home.
Is Bijan active, do we know?
They were kind of questioning it. I mean, Arthur Smith had weird comments.
I'll play that at 9:40 too.
He's just an interesting dude. He really is. I know Falcons fans are getting sick of him too, even though they have a winning record. They're 4-3, but I think they fall to 500. I think the Titans are going to win this game. They're at home, and speaking of home dogs, Atlanta's favored by 2.5. Yep, I smell something. Give me the Tennessee Titans. I think they beat the Falcons.
Jeff, hold on. You have confidence in Will Levis?
It's not about Will Levis. It's just more about Desmond Ritter.
I forgot about
and how he's bad.
Will Levis is starting for this team.
I understand that, but this game last week, Atlanta, the way they're winning is these ugly 20. Like last week, it was like what was it, 16-13, some BS like that.
Desmond Ritter lost.
I just think Derrick Henry, he's due. He's got to have a big game. I know they're not going to make Will Levis air it out. Give me the Titans, but in a close game. I don't like Desmond Ritter. I think he's bad too. So.
Will Levis want to know as a starter? Oh, that's Booner's king right there.
And it's not even that isn't even more on Will Levis. I like the Titans as a team. Better than the Falcons right now.
You know,
like you said, they're 2-4. They're coming off a rough stretch. Give me the Titans.
The funny thing is, we can clown Ryan Tannehill all we want, but he is their best option by a mile right now. And the fact that he's hurt and probably won't play, and it's Will Levis. You know what? I'm still going with the Titans in this one. I cannot live in a world, guys, and I think we can all come together on this one, where Desmond fucking Ritter is 5-3 as a starter this year.
It can't happen.
But. Here's what the Falcons might hurt them. They need to put their best weapon, Bijan Robinson, back on the field and re-unleash him. I don't know what happened last week.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened because now you're starting to question why the hell did you draft him if you love Cordero Patterson and Tyler Algier that much?
Very similar questions to what are being asked in Detroit. Interesting. Jameer Gibbs and Bijan. I'm not saying that one's better than the other, but both of the same guys have the same questions circling around them.
What do you think, Lucas? Titans, Falcons.
If you think I'm betting on Will Levis and his first career start, I'm sorry, you are wrong. And I understand that Desmond Ritter isn't anything either, but that Atlanta Falcons defense is a lot better than people give him credit for. They are definitely going to create problems for Will Levis. I think A.J. Terrell will be able to absolutely shut down D-Hop, but neutralize him enough that Falcons' run defense is very solid. David Onyemata, Calais Campbell, and Grady Jarrett, I think they can limit Derrick Henry. And then the Titans secondary, if you want to talk about that, that's an embarrassing secondary, especially now that they just lost Kevin Byard. Who the hell is going to cover Kyle Pitts one-on-one? I mean, not saying he's going to go off, but you got to scheme for him. If you don't scheme for him, he's going to be wide open. If you just try to neutralize him, okay, Drake London, Tyler Algier, Cordell Patterson, Bijan Robinson. I think it's going to be like a 7-point win for the Falcons.
What about you, JB? What do you think? Clearly, you're not going with Will Levis.
I am definitely not going with Will Levis. I agree with Lucas. I am not trusting this guy in his first start. That, and I think there's other factors around this game as well, too, especially with the trade deadline coming up. Who knows? I don't think they'll give Derrick Henry a huge workload because they want to ship him off as healthy as they can, especially, given the fact that their franchise is really fucking terrible right now. Art Smith, he's a weird guy, but I think they figure out whatever this whole Bijan situation was that they had last week and give me the Falcons on this one.
You know what's crazy to think about? The Titans were willing to trade Kevin Byard, A.J. Brown, and now potentially Derrick Henry before they were ready to move off of Ryan Tannehill.
That's funny.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in.
Oh yeah, and by the way, just another quick little nugget that a lot of people are going to be maybe surprised and it's hard to hear. Arthur Smith, watch out for him for Coach of the Year. If they win this game,
if they win this game, what are we talking about?
They're 4-3 and leading the division. Come on.
That starts right where it started. Or that stops right where it started.
Land that plane, because it's not getting up in the airplane. Like, you are a one-man show on that one. Arthur Smith, Coach of the Year.
You guys just aren't looking at the fact that they're first in their division.
No.
They got another winnable game.
Hey,
what if they win the NFC South? What if they win the NFC South?
Daniel, Dan Campbell, John Hart. There's so many.
Yeah, there's so many. That Arthur Smith Coach of the Year plane's got turbulence. It's got turbulence. It's got turbulence. It's not landing successfully.
Challenger.
All right.